If I'm being honest, I've said it again, and I'll say it before, but I think that our brand new park is my favorite part of the kingdom that we have here. It really is so pretty, and I think that it fits perfectly into the mountain biome as well. Although, of course, it starts to rain, but although you haven't seen it, I've been up to some pretty hard work behind the scenes here at the Kingdom of Otapon. For one, we've completely finished filling in the wheat field that we made from about 2 episodes ago. I must say, this wheat field is a whole lot bigger than how big I thought it was at first. But slowly and surely, behind the scenes, we've filled in the entire field, and now it sits pretty low with the thunder there below the mountainside here. But I do think that I'm gonna head to sleep for the night and get away from this thunderstorm, and with a beautiful rainbow in the sky that tells me that we're set up for a pretty good episode here. Now it is officially day 862 in the world, and I have no idea how long this episode may go, but I will say that in this episode, we may go and try to take on the end, which is a big step forward for me as a Minecraft player, but also for the playthrough as well. I just have a feeling that the more that we work on this massive tunnel, the more that I'm gonna want an Elytra, but I'm really trying to hold off on getting it because I'm trying to take things as slow as possible here in this forever world. But as always, we have plenty of work to do here at the Kingdom of Otapon. If we head into this chest, you'll see that I've been busy collecting tons of materials for the tunnel, but also as a factor of having dug out a couple of layers of the tunnel, we have tons of stone materials as well. So I'm gonna fire up a live stream and we'll either continue to do some paving around the kingdom, or we'll add a couple of layers to the tunnel that I have behind me. Well, it is always fun to get to hang out with some friends on livestream. As you can see, we started to get to work on paving out a tunnel from behind the windmill over to where our park area lies. It heads out on this side, and of course we'll get around to putting some arches and whatnot in the area, but we have a winding path that just goes around through the mountains and runs along where an enemy outpost has been established. Now, it seems like things are starting to get tense here in the region, so we're gonna have to be cautious, but we do have this winding path that goes around through the mountains and starts to go over towards where the path is, or I mean, where the park is, and it's really nothing too special, but it takes a lot of time to try to make these pathways through the mountains. It's a lot more difficult than doing them in the plains or anything like that, so I'm definitely happy with the progress that we've made over there. But as you've seen, we've also done some more path work over in this area of the kingdom too. And while we do that, I did just want to give a special thanks to Cobb, Etat, Jay Figsy, and Simply Knight for heading into our live stream today. They're all wonderful Minecraft content creators, and Simply Knight is actually the inspiration for the tunnel that we have in this area here. So it was wonderful to be able to get to show that to him. But in all reality, they're some of my favorite Minecraft content creators and are some of the people that I watch the most. So if you're wondering on who some of my inspirations are personally, I definitely recommend you taken a look at their channels. Man, well, I messed up the ending of that sentence, but over here, past where the monorail lies, we have a building. It's actually Indiana Animates Cottage. And so we've continued the pathway over past the monorail over in this direction, which I did also just want to mention. One of my favorite things about the monorail is how we have the path just going through it. It's so wonderful just to be able to go underneath the arches, which is honestly something that I've probably mentioned before, but I just can't get over it. But this time, the pathway that we made on stream continues all the way over down towards Indiana's base right here, which it's honestly a very cozy little cottage, and I don't show it off enough in this world, but I did just want to give you all an update on our path building. But I do think that we're going to do a little bit more pathway work, and then we're going to start to do another layer of our tunnel. Well, it really didn't take too much work, but now we have a little mineshaft tunnel behind us. And as you can see, I've also gotten around to exchanging our path blocks with stone blocks. My intention here was really to make nothing special, but then I realized that I had 16 lecterns still to my name, and so I decided to put them in, and I really do think it's exactly what this tunnel needed. So we have the lectern in each area, along with a lantern on the side too, and I've also gotten around to texturing the stone path and the stone walls as well. We have spruce stairs and trapdoors right here, and then more spruce trapdoors on the ceiling, and then one little thing that I did is that we have cobblestone on the path right here, but not on the wall area. And the idea behind that is that people happen to use this tunnel here in the Kingdom of Otapon. So over time, the stone has broken down and turned into cobblestone. Now, eventually, I'm sure that we'll have more paths leading down from around over here, over past our wheat field and over into the park area. But for now, it's gonna be nice to have this cozy little tunnel area so that we can get around, because I must say it takes so long getting around in the mountains with all of the slopes. And so these pathway designs, including the ones that we have going on over to the park, are really helpful for just actual transportation, meaning that they're not just an accessory in this lovely world. And so we'll get to expanding along in this area, maybe even in this episode, but I'm not quite sure yet. However, there is one thing that I do know that I want to do, and that is to get even more progress done on our massive diorite tunnel. This guy is already starting to look incredibly intimidating in the mountainside, but we have plenty of more work and many more layers to put in here. And as I've said, I'm going to be getting a little bit of progress in every single episode. So I say, let's put out our YouTube videos, maybe bring Marnie along for the ride so she can hang out with us for a little bit, and get back to work, see how much progress we can get done. Now, I love how this tunnel is coming together. It is so big, it is so massive, and you might be able to tell as well that you can see the sunlight just glistening down through the cracks in the stairs. And so you could say that I'm feeling very proud of myself. As you can see, we went in and did a couple more layers of the wall, and the replay mod cinematic was 2.5 hours. So we got a good amount done, and you can see that we started on these layers too, but They're gonna have to wait for another day. I think that you can kind of tell that each one of these arches that we have right here is on another layer of our entrance, and so this was definitely a difficult and time-consuming build to make. And our tunnel will continue through the mountainside, and then maybe eventually it'll continue down over to the right, over this way. Who knows? But this is a forever world, so I'm leaving that potential out there. And as you can see, the palette that we have is birch logs and diorite, along with polished diorite and iron blocks, and then we have some chiseled quartz up here. But you can already tell as we get inside here that it's just going to be beautiful as we continue to work on this place over time. But for now, we're going to head away from our wonderful tunnel for a little bit, and we're going to head off in the direction of the pathways that we just made, because I do think that I'd like to establish some lighting in this area. We now have plenty of iron, so no need for torches anymore. And while we do that, I think it's perfect time for today's comment of the day as well. And today's comment of the day comes in from Golden Recluse, who asks, out of everything that you've created, what's left the biggest impact on you? That could be Minecraft or real life. And I must say, that is a mighty good question. Now, I think that out of all of the experiences that I've been able to have in life, going and traveling abroad a couple of times have been the most impactful for me. For those of you that don't know, I studied religion when I was in college, and I got to go to India and Bolivia in order to study religion, and seeing different worldviews and different ways of how other people would live their life was very impactful on me. And I learned about how so much conflict and so much love in the world just boils down to religion at the end of the day. And my travels and the things that I ended up learning from those travels is actually the reason that I happen to wear the skin that I do in Minecraft. This is the robe of a Tibetan monk, and I got to study Tibetan Buddhism when I was in India. And Tibetan Buddhism is very, very much a champion of love and compassion for all beings. But personally, I really don't like speaking badly about other people. I try to keep things as upbeat and realistic. Come on. As possible. There we go, finally. And one thing that I think a lot of people talk about when it comes to doing YouTube is A, number to success, and then B, when it comes to hate. Because I do think that there are a lot of people that have YouTube channels and then they get plenty of comments and plenty of people that are disrespectful, or people online that they even happen to meet through the internet that are also disrespectful towards them. And I really am so lucky in that my community, the people that hang out in our Discord and Sub Sanctuary, which you're always more than welcome to join, or here in the YouTube comments, everyone that I get to interact with is so upbeat and positive. I do think that it's a testament to the way that I try to interact with people and communicate with people, because I am definitely a believer that when you smile at the world smiles back. And so just about coming up on 2 years ago, I ended up making this Minecraft channel, and lo and behold, I have now hundreds of people and thousands of people that are calm and warm and supportive and upbeat and cheer me on to do this YouTube thing. And it makes me feel so valued and seen and appreciated, and I don't feel alone, and I feel respected and all of the wonderful things. And I had never expected that when I started off with this YouTube thing in the first place. And so regardless of all of the different things that I've built in any of the worlds that I've made, I think that building a community of people that are just so incredible, and we really get to connect through something that we love together, which is Minecraft, is maybe one of the things that I'm most proud of in life in general. And I think that it speaks to the fact that, you know, I could have a YouTube channel with 4,000 subscribers or with 10,000 or an even bigger number, but all of my YouTube comments and all of the quote-unquote support that I could be getting wouldn't really be considered support, right? And so I might be getting money, or I might be getting, attention or acclamation or whatever it be, but I wouldn't be getting any of the reinforcement that makes me feel like I'm doing my best out here and putting my best energy into the universe, regardless of the financial or the monetary gain from it. And so being able to just have so many real people, when you first start doing things on the internet, it's like sometimes it's hard to believe that they're real people, but these are real people. And I've gotten to know so many of you through doing this, and I would never take it back. And so, yeah, I'm so proud of the creation of this community and putting myself out there to try to get to know you all. And I've been, yeah, it's one of the best things that I've decided to push myself into in my adult life, I would say. But honestly, besides that, I think the other thing that I've created, and I know it's not like a specific Minecraft build, but that I'm the most proud of, is just the fact that I have this YouTube channel in general. Because when I started, I didn't think that I had a voice that was worth listening to, or a perspective that was worth hearing, or content that was worth engaging with or being entertained by. I really didn't think that those things really applied to me in particular. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to try it. And you never know unless you don't try. And now, a couple years later, I'm sitting up on almost 750,000 channel views and 4,000 subscribers. And again, hundreds and thousands of people that really do like what I put out into the universe, whether it be for its educational content, or because of who I am, or because of the cinematics and the just quality and fidelity of the videos that I make. I really do put so much time into them. And now I have this thing that I'm so proud to tell other people about. And I'm like, yeah, I have this, quainty little Minecraft YouTube channel that is, it's still on the smaller side, but it's by no means, tiny, and not without, accolades. And I've done this all myself, and learned how to video edit, and decided that I wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber, and get to hang out and make videos with the people that I admired myself. And so by far, those are the things that I'm the most proud of when it comes to the things that I have happened to have created. But I must say, in just a little bit of time, these lanterns, they really just bring so much light, especially when it comes to the light detail, but just some extra zhuzh to the area as well. Now, for the last couple of episodes, I haven't really done anything Lightmatica related in this world. There is a build that I ended up making a couple of weeks, or maybe a couple of months ago, that I just haven't had a chance to put into this world. The idea behind this build is that it's going to be kind of like a collector's guild. The idea here being that eventually we're going to have a bunch of rare materials, but I don't really want to have them just in our normal inventory. Things like armor trims and like our netherite, all of the cool things that we could get here. But as much as I would like to start building over in this area of the kingdom, over where our park area starts to go, there are still plenty of more spots in front of our kingdom that we could utilize. And so I think that I'll be utilizing this area right here. And just as always in any Minecraft world, it starts to rain, which honestly isn't the end of the world, because I do feel like it's a cozy, rainy vibe here in the Kingdom of Otapon. And anyway, we're going to have a lot of work to do in order to prepare this area right here and terraform it in order to get it ready for the build. Along with, I have plenty of materials and chores to do around the kingdom. Marnie, I can't believe that we've almost been here for 1,000 days. Yeah, I totally agree. This place is really starting to come together. But I say, let's get ourselves ready for a brand new build in the Kingdom of Otapon. And when things are all set and good to go, I'll check in with you then. Well, given the short amount of time that I had to make this build, I do think that it came out quite well, or as said in the words of the wonderful BH, I think that I've cooked. But I did also want to mention there's something kind of interesting about this build in that for the first time ever, I ended up using the easy place mode on Lightmatica. The reason being, I'm quite time strapped this week in order to get a nice build out for you all, but to my amazement, it probably took me about 45 minutes or so to create this build on its own in creative, and then it took me 32 minutes to build it in survival, which honestly is just completely shocking. And so without further ado, we can say a grand welcome to the Bank of Otopan. I kind of like the idea of having an area in this region where people can come from other kingdoms in order to do commerce and trade with the kingdom. And although we don't have an interior yet, we're gonna have to make this hoppin' and bustlin' with all of the different commerce related things of the region, which I'm honestly very excited to do. And in this area all around the bank, we have plenty of land in which I think that I'm gonna put some wheat fields. If you know the guy Slip, or if your name happens to be Inca Raids, then you know that this guy loves building with flowers. So I think that a little pathway leading on up to the tavern will be the perfect thing that this area needs. And then we'll take the surrounding area, maybe extend the path right here to lead up this way, and then continue to fill in everything with wheat instead of having a boring old sign like the Otopan Sugar Incorporated Industries that we have behind me. I'd love if one of you guys in the comments were able to give a fun nickname for the bank that we have here. But I'm going to continue on to get this build ready for its final version, and we'll do it cinematic style. Then, when everything's done, we'll go together and take a look at the interior. Well, just about an hour and a half later, and we have the interiors complete on the bank, which I happened to do during a live stream, which lasted about an hour and a half. And I must say, I always have such a blast hanging out with you all on stream. We always put on some nice, relaxing music, and you guys get to see my thought process a little bit more. And most importantly, I get to connect with all of you, which is just so important in my life. And we live stream pretty much every single Friday around 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You're more than welcome to come and join us. But you will see that we've extended our pathways as we've talked about, and we've gotten around to planting a wheat field in the area too. I really do think that the crops help fit in the area well, and in my personal opinion, you can really never go wrong with having some extra yellow around the area. For our pathways right here, we went pretty simple. We have some chiseled stone bricks, and then some stone bricks and stone, and that's just about it here. In my personal opinion, you really don't have to do too much to spice up an area, and just switching up the block palette in order to give a place a path will bring all of the life to an area that you need. But as you can see, the Bank of Otopan has really come together, and I love the mixture of the oak trapdoors and the spruce trapdoors along with the spruce signs that I have outlining the outer edge of the building. And of course, it wouldn't be a slip build if I hadn't put some decorated pots and some saplings in the outer linings of the roof along with on the sides of the walls as well. And one extra little detail that I did want to point out that I think is really nice to have in wheat fields is that you'll see that we have an oak trapdoor that's over top the water source that's hydrating all the crops in the area. You really can't tell that it's there from afar, but if you were to go into an elytra or if we go into Cheatycam, you can see that it really helps fit in the area and kind of keep everything nice and clean. And as I was saying, I had a really good time designing this interior. As you can see on on the floor, we have some chiseled tuff and then some tough bricks along with some gray glazed terracotta, which is my first time ever using this in Minecraft. We also have some mud down here, and I think that it really just gives kind of like a cold, rustic, but clean environment to the area. The Kingdom of Audapon is still more of a darker medieval kingdom, as we can see outside with all of the deep slate that we've used on all of the buildings around the kingdom. And so on the interior here, I wanted the interior to kind of match that vibe of the kingdom. We have a bunch of lecterns all over the area, and the idea here is that these guys are ledgers where people can come into the kingdom and they can do their financial transactions and write them all down in the books that we have here. One thing that I did talk a lot about on stream is the use of item frames just to store your items, and it really doesn't even matter what you put in them, but the more that you use item frames, just like trapdoors in a Minecraft world, the more that it brings an interior to life, in my personal opinion. I also can never go without having some decorated pots right here, the extra kind of maroon red and just the extra texture that you have with the pot leading up with these different gradients right here. It makes all the difference, and it's just such a fun block to have in the game. And on this side right here, we have a little table with another pot and a lantern for some extra light too. We can also head up to the second floor, where we have an interior that is very similar to the one that we have on the first floor, without the addition of the blast furnaces, as you can see. I was kind of just experimenting while I was doing my interiors, and one thing that I wanted to point out is, once again, these decorated pots. If you put them into an item frame, it's just a really nice thing to have on the walls. We have some more lecterns where people can fill in their ledgers, and then on this side we just have some more open space with even more item frames too, and an anvil right here with a decorated pot and some more blast furnaces. I know that it doesn't feel like the most bank thing in the world, but for this point in time as a Minecraft builder and an interior designer, this was the best that I could do in order to make a bank. And if I'm being honest with you, I'm happy with how it came out. I'm really happy that I took the time to do this on stream in particular and take it slow, so that we could have a really cool interior for this build. So we'll have to get around to placing a sign around here and give this bank an official name besides the Bank of Audapon. I was thinking last night, I was like, do I want to do the Bank of Audapon? Do I want to do Audabank? And once again, I'm leaving it up to you. I'd love to take one of your suggestions from the comments below. But as the sun begins to set, and as we are approaching day 1000 here, in our survival world, our forever world, you can say that the Kingdom of Audapon is really starting to come together. This world really has a fantastic story that we're making within it, and I'm so happy that you all get to take a part of it. And now I have no idea what we're going to be building for next week, but I do know one thing, and that is that I'm so happy with everything that we've built here, and it's so wonderful just to have this kingdom come to life. I'm so excited to bring more life into this kingdom and to make this area become something bigger than words. One thing's for sure, in order to make that happen, we have plenty of work to get prepared for next week. So just as always, thank you for watching, and I say let's get back